We're going to talk about llama.cpp and using that to run your own AI. But to make it even easier for us, we're going to be taking a look at Jan.ai. So, Jan.ai. You go to Jan.ai, you search for the download, you grab the installer, free open source, runs on Windows, Mac, Linux. That's the starting point. This is on my 4GB laptop, the ASUS ROG Zephyrus RTX 3050 with 4GB of VRAM. I want to be upfront about that from the start because it's going to matter a lot for the results that happen now. So, once it's downloaded, you just run the installer and we'll wait for that to finish. So now once Jan opens, the first thing it will do is tell you to download a model. This is a basic model provided from them, and I'll just go ahead and download it. Now I have skipped over this part and we will go straight to the chat. I want to send it a big prompt, explain the full history of AI in detail. I want to search the context window and see what happens on only 4GB of VRAM. So we need to add some permissions. That's going to be pretty standard for most people. Now here you see it already ran out of the context size, but we can increase it with one click and we'll do that here shortly. So I have I've made the context window bigger and now we finally get to some generating. So we'll just wait to see how much it can generate and how fast it is. So what is llama.cpp? Now it's actually running under the hood here. This is llama.cpp. This is the engine that Jan.ai uses, that Llama uses, that LM Studio uses. Almost every local LLM app you've heard of is running llama.cpp underneath. It's an open source project with over 1,600 contributors written in C++. And the reason it matters is this. Before llama.cpp, running a large language model locally meant you needed serious research hardware. But llama.cpp has made it work on consumer GPUs. It also invented the GGUF format, which we have seen on this channel quite a lot. You don't need to touch llama.cpp directly, Jan.ai handles it for you, but knowing it's there explains why the GGUF files you download in Jan.ai are the same files you use anywhere else. Now, here we are trying the same prompt on my RTX 3060 with 12GB of VRAM. So we'll see a big increase in speed. Now, it's still not enough, so we still have to increase the context window manually by clicking on that arrow. And again, some permissions. Now this is actually generating at 53 tokens per second, which is quite usable. The attempt on my 3050 was actually stuck at around 4 to 9 tokens per second, which is not that great. And now here we are in the hub and we're going to download our first real model. These models are a lot bigger and a lot more advanced than the Jan.ai standard model you download in the beginning, but we are going to check them out here in a second. Now, I like that it has simple warnings of like what would fit in your VRAM, what wouldn't fit, so like maybe slow, and some things are just way too large for you, which will give you a warning that they might not even work at all. Now here we're going to download the Q4 XS version of this model, which is a heavily quantized version of Qwen 3.6, 35 billion parameters. So as you can see, some models work great, some models don't. It is usually about the size that gets loaded into the VRAM. Now, a lot of people say you should use a model the same size as your VRAM. For LLM, I think this is wrong because you have a context window added on top that needs to be loaded into your VRAM. So I'd always leave 2 to 3 gigabytes free for you to have a large and nice context window. This is going to help you to get better answers out of the model and do stuff like upload PDFs or even upload images. I found personally on my RTX 3050 that Qwen 3.5 9 billion parameters works the best. It is a quantized GGUF version I'm using, but it still gives great answers and it's really fast. Now, you should choose models depending on what you need. There's some coding models that are interesting, some for general answers, some for maybe web scraping or AI agents. So you should just do some research and figure out what you're trying to do with it and then get a model that fits your needs. And quantize it low so you have a little bit of space for the context window. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll try to get to you, and leave a like. I'll see you next time.